Okay, we are recording. Okay, so like I said, once I record, I will put these in the Facebook group so you guys can rewatch them. And if you guys have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section. If you're new to Zoom, down at the bottom, you'll see a Q&A. Put them there. Don't put them in the chat. The chat, typically, I don't check, depending on how many people we get on the call. A lot of times people in chats, if you guys are familiar with Zoom, chat's kind of more with, people that are on the calls, that they'll do some chat stuff in the back end, but I typically look at the Q&A. Okay, so let's get rolling. So the first question I had, and this is actually the only question I had, so I'll go over this question, then we'll just open this up for Q&A, but was how to create templates. Okay, so for example, if you guys are in your program area, you'll notice in here there's a couple ways to create a program. You can create a brand new one from scratch just by create new, right? This is going to open up a new program here. So we could call this maybe now remember, for those that are new on the call as well, or you're new to PT Enhanced, the way that we build our programs is based on sections. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is let's call it a core program. And being transparent, you guys, if I build a program, you're like, that's a horrible program. Transparent wise is I'm the software guy, so I don't build programs for people. I just show you guys how to do it. So I always like to put that out there. I had someone like 3 or 4 months ago, I built a program. They emailed me and said, hey, Brandon, like that was cool that you did that, but I would never, ever assign a program like that. I'm like, I'm glad you wouldn't, because I just threw stuff together. I have no idea what goes where and all that good stuff. I was a baseball player, so I had my own PT and strength coach telling me what to do. So anyways, I want to get that out of the way. So let's say this is a core program, and this is going to be a 6-week program. Just remember, when you guys are doing this, keep in mind that whatever you're building, right, is going to have in this 6 weeks, could have a stretching section in there. It could have, this could be like leg day. Okay. This could be maybe just core. This section down here, let's say this could be maybe cardio. Okay. And we would want to switch this over to cardio here, just so we switch up the colors. And why we do this is because it allows you to put different sections on the workout calendar. What that means is, let's say, for example, you're building this program for a client. It's a 6-week program, and the first day you want them to maybe start out with some stretches, maybe do some legs, maybe do a leg day, and then maybe in the afternoon, maybe have them do some cardio. So rather than putting it all in one section, you can break it up and you can kind of periodize this over a 6-month or a 6-week program. So you don't have to keep going in and changing up the stuff that's in the sections. And this will make sense here in a second. But once I have the core program, 6 weeks, I'll put my notes in here. So all your notes, this could be, all your notes go here. Like most of the times I see trainers put in there, 6-week program, and this could be, functional strength or something like that. Functional strength program. And basically you're just kind of giving your client, when they get this, say, hey, this is a 6-week program, we're going to our functional strength. And then whatever you kind of wanted to tell them in person, is they're going to see this every time they start the program. Okay. So your notes go there. And then when you come into your stretching section, another thing I want you guys to be aware of too, if you build a program, most likely if you haven't built a program yet, you're going to see a stretching section, and a resistance section. That's all you're going to see. If you build, let's say you added another section in here, right? Let's say you added a couple sections like I've done on the past demo. Then next time you come and build a program, it's going to leave off to that previous program you built. Okay. So for example, if you wanted to add a new section in here, let's say we have stretching, we have a leg, we have some leg stuff we want them to do. You don't have to put leg day, just maybe put legs. You have legs, you have some core, you got some cardio. And let's say you wanted to do, for this particular program, let's just do like a mix, something that's mixed. Okay, so I go add section, and I have a S, A, B, C. So I want to make sure it's a D. So this is a D section, and just put mixed. Okay, once I have it mixed, I can save it. And what's going to happen is it's going to have a mixed section. I want to drag this down to the bottom just to keep it in order. And then you can go over here and you'll see in here that there's a mix section. And what mix is going to be, it just has a combination of a bunch of things. I have certain trainers that just do mixed sections. And basically what it is mixed 1, mixed 2, mixed 3. And it has stretching stuff in there. It's got core stuff. It's got resistance. It's got a bunch of stuff built in just these sections. If you want to do it that way, you totally can. Everybody does it a little bit different. So if you guys are following what I'm, doing in this particular program and say, hey, I don't really do stuff that way, Brandon. Like I like to just do a mixed section. That's why I'm going to be bringing this up here for mixed, because you can do it this way as well. Okay. So once we have basically our sections that we want to add onto the workout schedule, we'll just go in here and start adding some exercises. Okay. So for this particular section, we'd want to add some stretches. Okay. Now we would filter the stretches out by clicking stretch here. Okay. And if we just filled that out, we could go and say, okay, I want to do stretches for, let's say, the core or the hip or the quads or the chest. I could go to core and then just go back to search. And that's going to search stretches for the core. Okay. It looks like there's 3 pages for the core there. And you'll notice if there's anything in here, we always recommend if you're just coming onto the system, is let's say, for example, you do a lot of hip shifting, then you would star that. Once you star that, that's going to come up as your favorite. Or let's say it's lumbar roll. When you come in and you start searching for exercises, your favorites were prioritized to the top. Okay. So just remember that if you see something in the database, you're like, oh, I use that all the time, like the Swiss ball, just hit this little star right here, and that will prioritize that to the favorites. So next time you come in, it's all going to show, your favorites will show at the top. Okay. But let's say, for example, we want to add a rocking groin stretch in here. Maybe we want to do this Swiss lumbar roll. And all you have to do is click add, and it says adding right there. Okay. So for some of you guys that have seen this before, please bear with me. There's a few people that are new. So I kind of want to go over this real quick. But once I add these, to the, and so let's go to the next page and add, hip rotations, and maybe let's do a suspension strap 90-90 hip stretch. This is basically what saved my baseball career right here, was this suspension strap 90-90 hip stretch. Anyways, once you add that, you'll notice if you click back out into the program, you'll see all of the stretches that are in there. Okay. Now remember, if I went in and there's certain things that I want to do, let's say, for example, when I do my programming, I have them do the same variables, right? Let's say I have them do maybe 2 sets, maybe 8 reps, the same tempo, all that good stuff. If you're going to do it that way, then let me show you a quick little, kind of a pro tip here. Let me delete these real quick. And what we can do is let's go in, let's add our first stretch, go edit. And let's say we always do 2 sets, maybe it's, 10 to 12 reps. And then we can put, slow. And then the notes, you can put your notes in there. Once we save this once, right? Hit save. Let's go back and add exercises again. And this will make sense here in a second. We try to make things quick and easy for you guys. So let's go back into stretch real quick, and let's go back to the core. And then we'll search one more time. And let's just add our favorites real quick. Let's go add. That one didn't add. And let's just do, just a couple more. You'll notice once we click back out into the programming, all the acute variables stay the same. Okay. And so just remember that. We didn't really want to, if you go in, just add everything off the cuff and you don't add any acute variables, it's all going to be blank. But if you do add one exercise and you want to go in and put some acute variables in there, and then you go and add a bunch of other exercises, you'll notice that it's going to follow the same acute variables that you did from the very top, or the first one. Okay. Now, if you don't want that to happen, just make sure if you go in and add an exercise, you don't have any acute variables in there, and it will all be blank like I showed you before. Okay. Same thing. If you guys want to move stuff around, hip shifting, you want to say you want them to start off with maybe hip shifting, just hover over it where the 4-way arrow is and just drop to the very top. And that's going to reorder your stretches. Okay. So what's going to happen is anyone that comes in, like a client, they're going to be doing a stretching section. They're going to start off with hip shifting, and then they're going to go to rocking groin stretch. So this is going to go in order. Okay. Same thing. If you guys did put these acute variables in there and you wanted to change them up, just go to edit. That'll allow you to go back in and make your edits. Okay. Put notes in certain sections, so on and so forth. Okay. But once you have that saved, that's how we're going to build our whole program. Same thing with legs. We go into add exercise, make sure you clear filters, make sure that you don't have any pre-filters still checked. And let's go into resistance, because it's going to be resistance, right? And let's go muscle groups, and we'll go into maybe quads. We want to start off with some quads. Let's go into search. And let's say we want them to do, and the reason why I always do it this way, you guys could search for exercises, but I always recommend when I have someone come on for the first time is go into the exercise database and start starring the things that you're going to use the most. Okay. Or if you're building a program right now and you say, I always, I never do machine leg extension, or let's say I always do this partial lunge, just start right away. And that's going to come up next time you search for the legs, for the quads. Okay. So this example, I'm just going to add, excuse me, a machine leg press. And let's do this partial lunge here. This is when there's a bunch of pages on this one. You guys, there's 53 pages. That's to do with the quads. And then I'm just going to add this. I don't want to bore you guys with going through all this stuff. So I'm just going to add a few of these to the program. And you'll notice, same thing as before, there's going to be some new fields. There's an intensity field here, which we didn't have in the stretching. Okay. So let's go in here and let's make some quick edits. Let's say on machine leg press, we want them to do 3 sets of, say, 12. And then you'll notice in here that you can put some intensities, like the 2RR would be the 2 reps in reserve, or you can do 80% rep max, stuff like that. You guys are the professionals on this stuff. We've given you fields so we can go in here and add these type of variables. Now, just to remember, you guys, like when I was playing baseball, at a very high level, I wasn't really sure what a lot of this stuff meant, because I had my strength coach telling me, like, hey, I want you to do 10 of these, but the left, I only want you to make sure that you would only be able to do 2 left, right, of your full max, or whatever, right? They would kind of give me some instructions on what they want me to do. So you could put that in the notes here, okay? So if you guys are not in person, or you're gonna be doing stuff virtually or online, just put the notes and let them know what they're gonna be doing, okay? Because sometimes, with the intensities and the weights and the tempos could become confusing to your clients. So that's why we give you a note section, okay? Weight-wise, let's just say I'm gonna do, let's go say 250, have them start with 250 pounds. You can put LBS in there. And then the tempos and the rest. Okay. So once we go through all that, put the notes, I'm not going to put any notes on this one. You would fill out all your cute variables for all of your exercises. Say, for example, you wanted to do a drop set, like you want to do a machine leg press and go right into a lunge. Just hover over here. You'll see that little thing pop up, and just click in the middle, and that's going to do be a drop set. So obviously you'd have no rest there. And then maybe you'd have maybe a 60-second or something like that. Or let's just do 1 minute. And if you hover over it, you'll see that you can do 0-1 would be 1 minute, right? That would be a 1 minute rest. Okay. Fill out that information, hit save. And now you have your leg, basically your leg day section built. All right. Now I'm not going to do this with all of these. I'll just go real quick and add maybe 1 core and some cardio just so you guys can see it. But I'm going to go to resistance and hit core. You guys can break it down into inner and outer units. I always just select the top one. But go into here. Let's find some core exercises. And I'm just going to add these in no particular order to my core sections. And let's say for cardio, I want them to run. Okay, so I'm going to go into cardio. I'm going to select cardio here off the left. And I want them to, let's just say, I'm going to type in run for this one. And you'll see the runs in there. I'm going to add it. Okay, so I got my running in there, and it will edit. Let's say I just want them to go for, like I say, hovering over there. You can do distance or minutes. I'm just going to go 45 minutes. 45 minutes like that. Actually, I hit the wrong button. So you can go 30 minutes. So you 0, 0, and then 30. So we had to add a 0 here. And the reason why we do this is going to be for if you guys are doing statistics. Okay. So I have a lot of trainers who just put in 45 minutes. Okay. So just put 45 minutes in that way. So up to you on how you want to do it. And then put some notes, hit save. And then what's cool about the mixed section, if you guys are doing just mixed, that's exactly what it is. Going in here and saying, hey, I'm going to have you do some stretches. You know, I'm going to do some stretches here. Maybe someone that you've starred that you use a lot. I want them to do the 90-90 and have these two. And then maybe I want them to do some, you know, core resistance, stuff like that. Okay. So muscle groups go back into core, or let's just do the hip, which I had a huge issue with in my career. So let's go in there and let's add a couple of those for the hip. And you'll notice everything in here is kind of a mix, right? A mix of some stretches and some core stuff, or some hip stuff as well. Okay. Now, once we have this stuff built, obviously the acute variables, make sure you fill those in, is go to the very, very top and make sure you hit save. Okay. Once you save it and it says it's been saved successfully, which has a little green check mark, our next thing we need to do is just go to workout schedule. And once we're in the workout schedule, is we just need to add these particular days to the workout schedule. So you'll see here, we have our stretching section, we have the leg section. So this just kind of gives you a quick glance of what's in this particular section. Okay. So if you want to hit minus, that's just going to drop those down so you can remember all of the sections that you have. And a couple ways to do this. For example, let's say day one, we don't know what day one's going to be yet. And see how it says 6 weeks? Let's just add 2 extra weeks there, hit save. And that's just going to save now a 6-week program. Okay. What we want to do is we want to go over here and let's say we want to drag, just go bring those back down. We have those pop up to default so you can remember what's in there. We just start dragging stuff out. Okay. We don't know what day they're going to start yet because we have to assign that at the very end. But let's say the first day we want them to start with some stretching, and maybe you want them to do the legs. Okay. So we would just put that right under the stretching section. Maybe day 2, you want them to have day 2 off. You don't want them doing nothing on day 2, but day 3, you want them to get into that stretching section again and maybe do some cardio. Okay. So this is how you would build your program, and we'd be building these sections over a 6-week period. Okay. Now remember, once you build this and you assign it to a client, you can go in at any time and make adjustments to it. Okay. So you don't have to redo the program. You can go in there and make adjustments at any time. Okay. So for example, let's say on day 5, we want them to do that mixed. Okay. So I'm going to drag the mix up on day 5, and then I could slowly start building these other weeks. Okay. Now remember, once you start getting stuff out onto let's just say, for example, we're just building it like this, right? Once you get some of this stuff out onto the workout schedule, then you can go in down here at the bottom. It says drag section. You can move it. You can just move these just by going down here at the bottom, or you can do the whole workout and move it. Okay. So you can move them down, move them back up, or copy them, copy the workout and say, okay, I want them to do this again in week 4, and then also in week 5, and also in week 6. Okay. So it allows you to move workouts and sections and copy, so you don't have to keep going back over here. Okay. So we have a lot of trainers will come in and put their first week in there, and then switch these around and then build the rest of their program. Okay. So once you have this done, we want to hit save. And once your 6-week program has been built, right? Obviously it'd be more than this, but this is just an example. Then we'd have our assign button. Now, once we have our assign button, it's going to allow us to go in to assign this to an individual client or a group of clients. So if you have a group, let's say maybe you have a 12-week or 6-week group that you're doing, and you got multiple people in the group, you can assign it to the group, and everybody that's in that group will get this particular program. Okay. But for this example, I'm just going to select, let's go to my test guy here. And we're going to say we want him to start on maybe Monday. Hit assign. Now, if you get a red error message here, that's going to basically tell you that that client that you're trying to assign this program, there's a conflict because he's probably already in another program. So what that means is, let me show you why you guys are on this call though. Once you've assigned that program, you'll notice there's a couple other tabs up top. There's a printout. So for example, printouts are going to allow your client or yourself to be able to print out a program summary, an exercise summary, or a workout sheet. And that will, obviously you can print those out, and that program you just built would be in there. Okay. And so if your client wanted to go in the gym and use a workout sheet and not log it on their phone, they could use a workout sheet. Okay. Or if they want to go in and not use their phone, there's a lot of people out there that don't use mobile devices. They could print these out and take this to the gym with them and get all that information just by paper. Okay. The other thing too is you have some statistics, which I don't typically go over in these calls. If you guys have questions, reach out to support. They can help you out with statistics. But once we've assigned that program like we just did, you can find that under assigned programs. Okay. And so it's going to show you. So where it says assigned programs here, we can go in and find our test client. I think it was test here. Nope, it was, let me find it again, you guys. I think it might have been tester. Got too many test clients here. Okay, so that tester, he's currently already in a program, but he's starting that core program we just did, right, on the 23rd. Okay, so at any given time, let's say for example, and this is why I wanted to bring this up, is my tester client is currently already in a program. Okay, he's already in a core conditioning program, and it ends today. Okay, so basically it ends today, but at any given time, I could have went in and clicked on the program he's currently in, and I can go and make adjustments to it. Okay, so I can go into this program, go back to the sections builder, and I can go and add to it. So I can add another section. So for example, if I want to add cardio to it, I can go hit add section right here and hit some, key C for cardio or whatever section you want to use. I always just put C and then cardio on there, but you guys can do it however you want. Go in here and say, I want to have him do, maybe run or walk or whatever. I'm going to go in here and add exercise. Let's just put on this one. Let's put walk. And I'll put walk in there. And we'll just add, I'm just going to put 1 hour. Okay. However you want to do it is fine. Hit save. Now, just remember, once you add it, now this client's currently already in a program. So he's currently in this program, which ends today. Okay. So this is a bad example, but it doesn't matter. Let's say it ended next week. Okay. We added a section to the sections builder. The last thing we have to do is go to the workout schedule and add it to the workout schedule. Okay. So remember, he's currently already in week 6 here. Okay. So let's say, for example, he was only in week 3. We could go out and add, this section out to another day. Okay. So for example, I can add that cardio section now to his programming. And when he goes to that particular day, that new section's on the program. So we have a lot of trainers that use this for program design. So they'll build 1 week for a client and then have an online assessment or a call with them, and then schedule the week 2 based on their assessment of week 1. Okay, so it allows you to continue to build. So you can leave these weeks blank and say, after week 1, I'm going to do a quick call with you. Hop on. This is you talking to your client. I'm going to hop on and see how your program went over those 3 days. And then I will make program design wise, which you can charge for. I will make your week 2 based on results from week 1. Okay, so you can do that as well. And once you add that new section to the workout, their workout schedule, make sure you hit save. If you don't, and you go back to sections builder, you'll see that if I go back to workout schedule, the cardio is there, but the workout schedule, it wasn't saved. Okay, so it's not going to be down there at the bottom. Okay, so make sure that once you add any sections to the workout schedule, you hit save. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how to do that, and make sure that if you guys are on the call, you do have questions, please put them in the Q&A and I'll answer them. But the question, like the second part to the question was, if you built a program and you wanted to say, for example, we just created that one from scratch, right? So if we go back to that assigned program that we just did for our test client right here, and say, for example, this is a basic program like that you want to build off of. Say you kind of structure your programs like this with all your clients. You could go into here, these 3 dots, and you could save a copy as a template. Okay, so let's just do that real quick. And let's just put folder. We can create a new folder. And let's just say this is our 6-week, maybe a 6-week program template. And hit save. What's going to happen is next time we want to go and build a program, okay, for example, we have all of our templates up here. You'll notice in our database, for example, and I'll show you where to find that. If you click on programs and go to templated programs, it's going to take you to this area. Okay. So your templates are going to be up here at the top. So all your templates, that little program template I just created here, but you'll see we have a bunch of templates in here for you guys. Like there's postural correction templates, there's functional strength, health and wellness, So for example, let me go into the functional strength. There's 5 of them in here. So it's 5 pre-built templates. Okay. So functional strength 1, if you click on that, it's going to say, we'll have a stretching section. You have a day 1, and I believe that's it. Yeah. So this is the beginning of the functional strength program. And then the workout schedule's already been attached. Okay. So this one, I believe, is 4 weeks. Yeah, it's 4 weeks and it's pre-built for you. Okay. So this is going to show you what's in there. They're going to be doing these particular stretches and these particular resistance exercises. Okay. So this is a functional strength program. Now you can assign this to a client right from the template. Okay. So for example, if I went back, click back on the back arrow, go one more time. And that functional strength, if I wanted to assign this to a client right away, I can click assign a copy. I could select a client, say Charlie Murphy, and I want him to start that December, let's say 7th, hit assign. Then basically that functional strength program template, Charlie's going to get, and I had to do nothing to it. Okay. Now, if I wanted to go into this functional strength program and I wanted to make some adjustments to it, just hit copy and edit. And that's going to allow me to hit, save. You can rename it, whatever you want, click save. And that's going to open up that template and allow me to make some adjustments to it. So for example, if I didn't want, these in here, I can delete those out, or I can go in there and I can add new stretches or new sections. I can do all that just by hitting copy and edit. Just remember, once you hit copy and edit and you add, say you add some sections to it, or you change the acute variables or add extra exercises to these sections, make sure you hit save. Then go to the workout schedule. If you did add a new section, just remember you need to add that section to the workout schedule. Okay. Which we didn't add a section there, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up that if you guys go and make any adjustments to anything and you add sections here to your programming, make sure you add them to the workout schedule and then hit save. Okay. But the reason I'm bringing this up is your templated programs. You can build programs and save them as templates to go in at any time. So I can go into my 6-week program, which is right here. I can go in and I can assign this as a copy to another client, or I can copy and edit it. Okay. So if I wanted to build a 6-week program that I normally start a client off with, maybe it's functional strength, or if it's, postural correction or some type of program you have a client in, you don't have to rebuild it every single time. You can save it as a template for a future date, go in and assign the copy, or you can copy and edit and make some adjustments to it and then assign it to a new client. Okay. Same thing with sections. Okay. So look at when we have create from new or create from a template, it's the same thing. Create from new is basically from scratch, and creating from a template. If you wanted to create something from a template, basically what you're doing is you're creating a program here, right? And let's say, let's put core 2. All right. We'd put our notes in there like we did before. And we would select, say we want to build off of our template that we had, right? Or let's say we want to build off maybe a postural correction template. And say we want to build off our, let's say our low cross lordosis one right here. We'd select this template, which is pretty cool, you guys. Why I'm showing you this is we want to choose this template. Let's say it's only got 2 sections. Okay. Let's choose this template. And let's say, for example, we want to use just the stretching section, but we want to use a different resistance section. I can hit replace section here. And I'd say I want to replace that section with the postural correction, but I want to change it with, change it out for this, their resistance sections for sway back. You probably would never do this, but I'm just showing you guys can. So I could swap out the section, hit pick section, and it will replace the section. So this becomes super helpful if you guys are building out your own sections. Like I showed you guys before up here on your template area, you could go and build, let's say you went and build a bunch of templated programs that are just stretches. Like you had a corrective stretches 1, corrective stretches 2, corrective stretches 3, and you had a bunch of different resistance sections as well. You can build all those from a template, and you don't have to basically reinvent the wheel and create them from scratch. Okay. So basically, let me just show you that because that was a question I got over the weekend, and I wanted to show you guys without getting too crazy on all of the things you can do in the builder. But this does become very, very helpful. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I created, let's go create new, and this will make sense here in a second. So I'm going to just delete all of these sections here. And let's say we want to delete we want just a stretching section on this. All right. Delete again. Sorry guys, it's taking me some time to delete these. What I'm going to do is I want just a stretching section on here. Okay. And let's call this warm up 1. Okay. Warm up 1. You can put your notes in there if you want. All that good stuff is fine. And we can change this to warm up. Okay. And then let's go in here and add some stretches. Give me 1 second. All right. So go into stretch, and I'm just going to pretend that these are the ones I wanted to use. Okay. So I'm going to add these in no particular order. So let's say these are my, this is a warm up 1. Okay. Now all I want to do is I'm just going to save it here. And I don't need to do, I can just go over here and hit save as template. Okay. Save as template. And I'm going to put warm up 1, and then I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to put stretches. Okay. Stretches, and hit save. And I can do the same thing. I can go back into another program, right? So we can create, let's just create one more so you can see how this works. So warm up 2, and we're going to do that again here. We can leave warm up there. We don't have to do anything else there. Let's hit add exercise. Back into stretch, and no particular order. I'm just going to go and add these here. Okay. And once we have this here, let's hit save template. And we're going to put warm up 2, and we're going to put them in our stretches folder. Okay. Hit save. Now what this allows us to do, now if we did this with our like resistance sections and cardio sections, we just built all these templates. What we can do is when we create it from a template, we can go in and basically say we can do there's templates that we can build in here that are, let's just say, a 6-week. What I typically do, you guys, is I go and I create, let's say, create new, and I add my sections on here. Okay, so let's say I want to have a warm up, and I want to have a resistance. Okay, so I'm going to add one more section. Hit A, and I'm going to put legs or something. Okay, this is how I do it. You guys can do it the other way too. I just feel like this is an easier way, which I've always been doing my demos. Okay, so I'm going to drop this here at the bottom, and then replace the section. Okay, hit replace section here, and let's go to our template. Go to stretches, and say I want to use warm up 1. And warm up 1, say yep, I'm going to pick that one. Excuse me. It's going to replace it with our warm up area, and let's say, okay, with my legs, I'm going to go and replace the section, and let's just say we had a legs template here, which we don't. Let's just say that we did. Say it was this right here. Said legs 1, legs 2, legs 3, whatever. We can go in here and say, oh, I'm going to use this section. Okay, and then it's going to populate that section there. Okay, once we have that new section in, we didn't have to go and rebuild this stuff. We just built from a template. Okay, we want to put the name, just put Brandon's, let's put Brandon's 6-week program. Okay, put some notes in there, hit save, and then we just add the workout schedule. That's all we have to do. Okay, so it's like I showed you guys before, is once we save that, we go to the workout schedule, and we just add, you know, if it's the 6-week program, or if it's, you know, maybe it's just a 1-week program, whatever it is, we'd add the weeks or delete the weeks, whatever you want to do, hit save, and then add these to the workout schedule, and then basically assign it to Brandon, and you're good to go. So you just built a program. You can go in and build all your templates, and then just build right from that template, just by replacing sections like I just showed you. Okay. So hope that helped you guys. I know that's for those that are new on the call, you're like, wow, there's a lot there. But just want to show you there's multiple ways you can build programs in our platform. Okay. So I want to go back to if there's anybody that's on the call that has any questions regarding anything else. The question that I just went over was what I got over the weekend. So I wanted to kind of go in depth on how to build programs and obviously build them from templates. And just remember, every time you guys save a template, just go into your templated programs, and it's going to have my templates at the top. So break those things out. If you guys are building, like, say, 4-week programs, 6-week programs, just create your folders And what's going to happen is you'll have all of your program templates in here. Okay, so stretches, maybe it's resistance or core or cardio. You can have all your templates here. So when you build your programs, you can just swap out the templates. So you don't have to rebuild it every single time. Okay, so that's why we did it for you guys. So any Q&A that you guys want to go over, please let me know. If not, I'm going to end the call. I know there's still quite a few guys on the call right now. So if there's anything you guys want me to go over while you got me, please let me know. You can put them in the Q&A section. And considering there's no questions in there, if you guys want to pop it in the chat, you guys pop it in the chat as well. I'm looking at both of those. We will get those questions answered for you. Oh, and by the way, too, I had a couple people email me as well yesterday and this morning. Everybody has access. Okay, if you guys are on pro plans or custom plans, and you have access to resources. So resources are in here. If you're on a basic plan, you won't have access to resources. Okay, so that means you can't upload your own videos, audios, documents, stuff like that. You can't do any of the automations with resources. But if you guys are on a pro or a pro plus or a custom plan that has access to resources, you guys do have the automations. Okay, so the automations, go into automations and go to the how to eat, move, and be healthy. You'll see it down here. Now, remember, when you guys see it, it's not going to be published yet. You're going to have to publish it. So when you guys come in, you'll see it, but it's going to say unpublished. So it's going to look like this. Once this goes live, okay, it's going to be unpublished. So it says no. And the reason why we did that is because if we had it published and somebody went to your website and you had this live, that they could buy it and you have no idea what they're buying. Okay, so you guys need to go in here and click publish. But before I do that, I'd go into the actual automation and view what's in there, and you can make your adjustments on the messaging. Okay, so and that's where the other question is too. When people say, hey, what are the emails? What do they look like? These are the emails. Okay, now the way our emails work is, which is really cool, is they do get the email to their email, but they also get it inside the app. Okay, so once they get this message, it's going to go out to their email. They can read it, but if they want to reply to it, they have to reply to it inside of their messaging. Okay, so they have to go in here. So if they go to their dashboard, they would see this. Now I'm in the trainer portal, you guys. So the client's going to see something a little bit different, but they're going to see their messages. Okay, if it's a how to eat, move, and be healthy email, it's going to go to their email, but it's also going to land here. Okay, so there's two areas. So it lands here. They can go in there and they can message you. If they reply to it, it's going to go to you, their trainer. Okay. So just want you guys to be aware of that. And changing that stuff is pretty simple. Going to the automations, clicking on the automation again, 3 dots, and view scheduled items. Go in here and let's say you want to change, click edit. That's going to allow you to go in here and change the data or the wording or whatever you guys want to change. Okay. And I do want to give you guys a heads up. So we've been getting reports, and like I said, this is not a support channel. Okay, so I know most of you guys are on the call. You understand that. I don't handle any support. Support has to go through the support channel because they work hand in hand with our developers. Okay, when you guys submit them a support ticket saying, hey, something's a glitch, I sent something out and they got 3 messages or 2 duplicate messages. Okay. It doesn't happen across the software. Sometimes there's certain glitches in certain accounts for whatever reason. You could go and you could add some type of something from the internet to the website and somehow it glitches. And so you guys need to send that support ticket either through feedback and questions here. Okay. Hey, I'm getting duplicate messages, or you can email support@ptenhance.com. And what they do is they go in, they flag your account, developers go in and they check it out and see where that glitch is. It's all based on code, okay? So they can see where the errors are and they can fix it. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up that when we created the new premium contact, okay, the premium contacts you guys have seen allows you to build up to 500 leads a month, okay? Basically what you're doing is you can go out and build leads from social media, email, whatever you guys want to do. I mean, obviously, if you were sending it to an email, let's say you had 200 people on your email list, you could send them a link to go in and go through some of your programming or go through an automation series or whatever it is. And you're taking that lead and you're warming them up in hopes to turn them into a paying client. Okay. But on the other side of it, if you're doing this stuff on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you're putting some lead magnets out there, or landing pages that says, hey, this is what I'm offering, click below, enter your information. That's actually turning people that are cold traffic into leads, and your guys are collecting those emails. I know I've talked about this the last couple of weeks, but when we created that for you guys, it did put a glitch in the messaging. Okay. So if you guys have been seeing some duplicates of going out, there is a fix. The developers have put a fix for that, and it's going to be released on Monday. Okay. So the reason I'm telling you that, if you guys are seeing that, hold off on support. Don't let support know. I mean, they've got quite a few messages about that. There has been a fix for it. It'll be released on Monday. Okay. So on Monday, you guys will see that if you guys send out an automation, the message is only going to go to your client once. Okay. And the reason why there was getting duplicates is because you could do it via automation through a premium contact, but also you have your normal clients as well. Okay. So it's kind of doubling them up. So we do have a fix for it. And just want to let you guys know that we're the only platform out there that allows you to build free leads. Okay. Which is super cool. I've been pushing for that for a long time. So you guys can go out there and literally start building, getting emails. And once you have emails, it's really, guys, up to you to do email marketing and to turn those leads into basically prospects, right? Not every lead you want to work with. So you take a lead into a prospect, and then a prospect into a paying client. Okay. So hopefully that helps you guys. And I don't see any questions. So you guys are making it very easy on me this week. So I appreciate it. If there's no questions, I am going to... Oh, for those two that are new on the call as well, go to support videos. I created an onboarding course for you guys. Okay. Click expand all. And this kind of walks you through, like I said, this is onboarding. So it's like, if you're just getting started, basically how, now some of these I need to change. We used to have 14-day trials. Now they're 30-day trials. But this will kind of walk you through getting started with PT Enhance. Okay. How to set up your mobile app. You know, when you first sign up now to PT Enhance, you need to turn on your marketing site. Okay, so this shows you how to do that. So if you click on this here, some of you guys might have already seen this, but you can go through a bunch of stuff in here. I did videos on how to do basic stuff. Okay, I did go over some automations and stuff like that, but this is for you guys just starting out. I didn't want to give you too much information at once, but basically you're coming on. Let's get you set up. Let's personalize your software. Let's go in there and change up your login page, add a profile image, stuff like that, to really kind of customize the software for you. And, you know, creating programs, let's create a few programs, stuff like that. And then assign some questionnaires. And then when you guys get the hang of that, you obviously guys can come into the live trainings and ask more advanced questions, and I'll answer those for you. But the reason why I put this together was really to get you guys up and running at your own speed, your own pace. And these were just the couple things that I thought of after doing this now for 4 years with trainers all over the world, kind of the main questions that I get. So I wanted to put a course together for you guys. Okay. So you guys have access at all times to that by clicking support videos, and that's going to put you right to this onboarding course. Okay. But if there's stuff in here that you guys don't have access to, like, hey, how do I do this? Reach out to support and they will help you out, or submit your questions to me and I'll go over those on live trainings. Or office hours on Mondays and Fridays. Okay. But office hours, I will let you guys know when I start doing that. It's probably gonna be next week or the following week, just depending on Thanksgiving, holidays, and all that good stuff. Okay. But if that's all I got for you guys right now, there's no questions. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, any questions that are support related, reach out to support. Any questions you want me to go over, you guys can submit those questions. I'll put those in the Facebook group. So if you're not in our Facebook group, go to facebook.com/PT Enhance. That's going to be our main page. You'll see at the bottom, you will see join group. Let me just show you that real quick. So you guys, because I do get that question quite a bit. Let me just go there real quick. .com/PT. Let's go to that. In 1 second, you guys. All right. Okay, so we're at facebook.com/PT Enhance. And then you'll notice right here under groups, PT Enhanced group, click join group there. Okay. And once you click join, I will approve you. You guys can watch all of the replays of these videos. And then there's also a link in there that shows you how to submit questions as well. Okay. So, all right, guys, hope that helps. I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.